jobs in the UK?
Well, I think there's a huge opportunity to attract billions of pounds of Chinese investment into the UK and in particular into the north of England. That's why I've brought the leaders of some of the great northern cities here to make a pitch for the Northern Powerhouse, and that's the first time we've done that in our country. It's the first time any British government has brought the north together like this. Already you see that Chinese investment starting to flow. We've had news this week of a potential big investment in Leeds. We've seen hundreds of millions of pounds of Chinese investment into Manchester. What this means is jobs for people, rising living standards for people, prosperity for people, and a bright future. And here we are in a high-speed train that China's building. We want Britain to build high-speed trains, so we're not left behind in the world. And there'll be an opportunity for Chinese companies, along with companies from elsewhere in the world, to bid, hopefully alongside British companies, for the contracts.
Or anywhere else around the country?
Well, any nuclear power station in Britain goes through the toughest independent tests and the toughest independent regulation anywhere in the world. So that would be the first hurdle for anyone to clear if they were going to build a nuclear power station. And of course, if they can't pass the test, then they can't build the station. Safety comes first with nuclear power. But let's remember, if we're not building civil nuclear power stations, this is the country, by the way, in Britain that first came up with civil nuclear power. If we're not building nuclear power stations, then we're basically giving up on the future, and we're not providing the electricity for our families in the future, and we're not creating jobs in places like Bradwell. So if you want places like Bradwell to have jobs and prosperity and great careers in the future, we need to get behind these projects.
Now, this visit has been quite an event. Could people back in Britain be forgiven for thinking, well, that looks a bit prime ministerial, that's a guy who's getting ready for a job that he hopes to have himself in the not too distant future?
Look, this is all about me doing my job as Chancellor in bringing the jobs, the investment to Britain, making sure the British economy and the plan we have for its future is one that fits in with what's going on in the world. And you know, it'd be so easy if you're the finance minister to stay in number 11, stay in the Treasury, not reach out to the rest of the world and say, come and invest in Britain. But I'm not that kind of Chancellor, and I'm absolutely delighted that so many businesses and these great northern cities have come along on this visit because they, like me, see that Britain's future lies in linking ourselves to the fast-growing parts of the world. And here we are in the centre of China, in an incredible railway station they've built in the space of just a few years. This is part of the future, and I want Britain to be part of that future.
George Osborne.
Right, we're going to go into the driver's cab. I'll bring you in when we're in the front office.